night. We had only been sent a set of coordinates. To this day, I still don't know who sent them. The message contained only a single sentence. Enter there. At first, we thought it was just another urban legend, one of those abandoned neighborhood stories that had been circulating online for years. But when we searched the coordinates on the map, we noticed something strange. The place didn't appear to exist. There were no records of any nearby settlement, and on the satellite images, there was nothing but empty land. Normally, that should have been the moment we gave up. But curiosity sometimes leads people to the wrong places. About 40 minutes after leaving the city that night, the road began to change completely. Streetlights became scarce. Phone signal weakened, and the GPS kept freezing on the same point. It was as if the system couldn't understand where we were. After a while, there were no other cars around us. Both sides of the road were swallowed by darkness. When I looked out the window, all I could see was fog. Dense, motionless fog. We noticed the first strange thing at that exact moment. The car radio turned on by itself. A distorted static noise filled the speakers. Then, for a few seconds, we heard something that sounded like a human voice, but we couldn't understand what it was saying. That was the moment I thought about turning back, but it was already too late, because a few minutes later, we saw the entrance to the neighborhood. A rusted iron gate, half-collapsed stone houses, and a strange silence coming from within. I have never heard silence like that in my life. There was no wind, no dogs barking, not even the sound of insects. It was as if every living thing in that area had stopped existing. We parked the car near the entrance, then we walked inside. The first street of the neighborhood was much larger than we expected. Some of the house doors were open, others still had their lights on, but no one was inside. It looked as if the people had vanished in an instant. Old toys were scattered across the ground. Torn photographs, broken glass, and symbols on the walls that we couldn't understand. After a certain point, we began to lose our sense of time inside that place. Had minutes passed? Or hours? I don't know, but there's one thing I remember very clearly. As we approached the center of the neighborhood, we saw movement for the first time. Someone was standing at the end of the street, a tall, dark silhouette. It wasn't moving. It was staring directly at us. We couldn't make out its face, because the place where it stood was almost completely covered in darkness. For several seconds, it didn't move at all. suddenly disappeared. It didn't run. It didn't turn away. It simply ceased to exist. That was the moment I realized we were not alone there. And the real fear began. After that point,